I'm Laura Ingraham in for Bill O'Reilly. Thanks for watching us tonight. When Democrats attack, that's the subject of tonight's Talking Points memo. In honor of the 40th anniversary of Woodstock and the town hall protesters, I'm humming that old Buffalo Springfield song, For What It's Worth. That's the title of the song. Remember the first line? There's something happening here. Well, what it is exactly clear. The people have had it. And yet all that the party in power can do in response is to dismiss and demonize. What happened to the Democrats being the party of the little guys? White House Press Secretary Robert Gibbs keeps saying that the town halls are not representative. It's just all a lot of chatter. And Team Obama says that the people are just misinformed. The left has spent a lot of time, effort, and money trying to discredit the town hallers as the Yahoo racist fringe. Well, this strategy has clearly backfired. Look, Democrats have been caught flat-footed, it's obvious, by this popular uprising. But all those Harvard grads at the White House should have known better. Powerful arguments against socialized medicine have been around not for months, but for decades. Ronald Reagan was saying this back in 1961.
One of the traditional methods of imposing statism or socialism on a people has been by way of medicine. It's very easy to disguise a medical program as a humanitarian project. Most people are a little reluctant to oppose anything that suggests medical care for people who possibly can't afford it.
I have to believe that Ronald Reagan is smiling down on these town hall forums where law-abiding and hard-working Americans are standing up for freedom. Independents, moderates, and now even Democrats who are senior citizens are saying no to a government-managed health care system. Their worries are real, and while violence is never justified, the passion certainly is. Until people see real, practical signs that President Obama is taking their concerns seriously, these protests are going to continue, regardless of how well-produced the president's own town hall events are. Simply put, the country is nowhere near as left-wing as President Obama obviously is, and he never had a mandate for this type of radical change. And that's the memo. Now on to the top story tonight, the president's latest town hall meeting in Bozeman, Montana. The crowd was overwhelmingly friendly, but there was this exchange.
As you can see, I'm a proud NRA member. I believe in our Constitution, and it's a very important thing. I also get my news from the cable networks because I don't like the spin that comes from them other places.
Oh, you gotta be careful about them cable networks, though.
We keep getting the bull. That's all we get is bull. You can't tell us how you're going to pay for this. You're saving here, you're saving over there, you're going to take a little money here, you're going to take a little money there, but you have no money. The only way you're going to get that money is to raise our taxes. You said you wouldn't.
Joining us now from Los Angeles, radio talk show host Tammy Bruce, a Fox News contributor, and from New York, Tara Dowell, a Democratic strategist. Tara, let's start with you. Do you think President Obama today took on his critics?
Absolutely. I think he did an excellent job. I think this should have been done a lot sooner. And I think he laid out the compelling reasons why we need health care reform. You take a state like Georgia, where part of my family is from, you have 575 people a day losing their jobs, which means they're losing their health care coverage. These are hardworking Americans who, through no fault of their own, have ended up in this situation. And there should be a safety net in place to make sure that these people are taken care of and we give them a hand up, not a handout, but a hand up.
Tammy, I watched this town hall and I didn't see really many tough questions. I mean, that gentleman talked about the Constitution a little bit, but in general, this was an overwhelmingly friendly crowd, and President Obama kind of rolled up the sleeves and turned it into kind of a campaign event. I still think he comes up against the wall, though, on this idea of expanding coverage and somehow not rationing care. No one believes that the government is going to be able to manage that when he himself cites the post office as a horrible example of efficiency and says that Medicare is unsustainable. He said that today, that Medicare, if we keep going, is unsustainable. So now we're going to have another government program that's unsustainable.
There is no government program that's worked, but I can tell you I have to give President Obama props here. The props I need to give him, really, he provided probably the best imitation of Charlie Brown's teacher today that I've ever heard. Now, the difference here is, of course, at the same time, is that what the Obama administration, in your talking points, is unable, they don't seem to understand, is that conservatives have never really responded like this before. Organizing conservatives is like organizing cats. You can't do it. And they're mistaking this for some kind of organized effort, whereas in fact it is organic. They don't understand how deep it is, and they have no plan B. So the result has been to malign the average American citizen, and nobody likes that. Approval is, listen, I don't want him to stop. Every time he does this now, the numbers go further down, people become more frustrated, and Democrats, Republicans, and independents alike are realizing that an error was made in November of last year.
Tara, the more these town halls take place, the more sympathetic every poll showing the people are to the people who attend the town halls. So you know, I know you're a supporter of President Obama. I respect that. But something's not working here with what they're doing. It's not getting through to the average person out there that this new government program is going to be different from all the other government programs that are inefficient, that waste money, and that end up cutting services to people who they will promise to take care of.
Look, I take exception to the fact that no government program works. I'm a graduate of the University of Virginia, which is a public institution, the #1 public institution in the country, and one of the top 25 schools. So government does work. Our military, the FBI. What about the FBI? Does the FBI not work? What about our men and women protecting our country? That's government. But that's government.
You're talking about red entitlement.
But what I'm saying is the notion. But what I'm saying is no. That's what Tammy said. So I'm taking exception with that.
Large government bureaucracies providing quote services, social services to the people.
But this is not. But this is not a. This is not a
Social
government.
Security unfunded.
This is not a government-run program. There will be a public option, which is simply a one other figure, one other player. It will create more competition.
It a government-run program in today's town hall.
He said that the public option would be government option, but the public option is going to be a government-run insurance company that will compete against private insurance. That's competition.
Can't hear anyone. Okay.
No, here's the problem. The bill hasn't even been written yet. This is the other thing that people are concerned about. Nobody knows. Look, when Sarah Palin can do type, send, and get something removed from committee from the health care bill, which would be the death panels, when she becomes effectively the 101st senator, it indicates how weak what's going on is. She influences a bill by doing type, send from some vacation somewhere.
We'll get to that issue in a little bit. We're out of time, but ladies, we appreciate it very much. Thank you. And next on the rundown, why is the White House dodging questions about whether or not they're sending unsolicited emails to Americans about health care? We're going to get some answers. And later, he's back and making some noise. But is Bill Clinton trying to undermine President Obama? Dick Morris will be here to analyze just moments away.